Hey everybody, it's Kat, and today I thought I would get in the kitchen and play around with shrubs. If you're not familiar with what a shrub is, it is essentially a drinking vinegar, and it has seen a resurgence in popularity. It's used obviously extensively in cocktails, and with the growth of the desire for non-alcoholic drinks, it's a great way to make a mocktail, and it's also terrific for cooking. So today I'm going to show you how to make super easy pulled pork that's marinated in this Shrubwell shrub, and we're also going to make a margarita. So let's get started. After I tasted this Pineapple-Tamarind-Ancho shrub, I knew that I wanted to marry that with pork. Pineapple, number one, is great with pork, and the vinegar that is the base of the shrub, and then that wonderful kind of like sweet tart nature of the pineapple, the sourness of the tamarind. It's a perfect marinade for a pork butt. So what I did was this morning, I just took my cut of meat and I put it here in this Ziploc with 1/3 of a cup of the shrub, and I squeezed out all the air so that the marinade would be really close to the meat the whole time, and I just left it in the fridge for about 3-4 hours. That's it. So my next step is to make a rub, which, just like marinating the cut of meat, it's crazy easy. There are a lot of different ways that you can approach making a rub, but essentially it's a combination of salt, sugar, and spices. Here we have, this could not be more simple. We've got the pulled pork here. It's called a rub because you just rub it on. Don't be shy, press it into the meat. You want to cover the entire surface of the pork. Okay, making a little bit of a mess. That's okay, I can clean it up. All right, ta-da! Now, I'm sure you noticed there is a fat cap on the pork butt, so that is going to go facing up. And I have my oven preheated at 325 degrees. I'm going to put a little bit of water in the bottom of this pan just to kind of help it steam. And essentially all I'm going to do is put this baby in the oven and walk away for about 3 to 4 hours. And during that time, I'm going to make the salsa. So I'll be right back. So my pork is roasting in the oven, and now I'm getting started on my salsa, which of course is inspired by the ancho flavor in that wonderful Shrubwell shrub. And I've already broiled some tomatoes and white onion, and now I'm just kind of skillet toasting these ancho chilies, which are just dried poblanos, and then a few of these little hot guys, because I do like a little spice in my salsa. I don't want to do this over too high of a heat because then it will scorch and everything will be bitter. But essentially what you want to do is release the oils and the aroma from these dried chilies, and then I'm going to put it in this hot water and let it sit and soften up for about 15-20 minutes or so. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes or so, and my peppers are nice and soft. You can see they're really pliable, so I'm just going to take the stems out. You obviously don't want to chop down on the stem. I'm going to tear these guys into pieces. I'm just going to pulse this a little bit, and then I'm going to add in some of this reserved water, 1 garlic clove, some salt, and then my roasted tomatoes and my roasted onions. All right, I'm going to add in just a touch of this water, not too much. We should be there at this point. Yum. Now, we're not quite finished. The next step is we're going to pan fry the salsa. So the majority of the elements are essentially raw, and I want to amp up the flavor. So we're just going to dump all of this back into the skillet where we browned those peppers to begin with, and kind of bring it up to a nice sizzle and express even more flavor, and then that'll be it. Even those 3 tiny little chilies give it a nice punch of heat. Those dried chilies really do make these salsas complex. Yum. Okay, I'm gonna let this heat up and I'm going to taste and see if it needs a little bit of salt, and then I'm also going to be adding in just a tiny bit of that same shrub that we used to add a little bit of acidity and sweetness and complexity to the finished salsa. So my pork is out of the oven and I've shredded just a bit of it, and obviously it shreds very easily now that it's so tender. I'm just chopping up some fresh cilantro. My hands are all sticky from the pork. And a little bit of white onion. Just put our beautiful little tacos together. I have some corn tortillas that I've heated up in the oven. I'm just gonna layer on some of this tender Shrubwell marinated pork. It's beautiful. Add on a little bit of cilantro, white onion, and then just a dollop of this ancho salsa that also has been enhanced with that Shrubwell marinade. It's delicious. Okay. Now, of course, we have to make our margarita because you can't have a fabulous taco like this without a great drink. And this is also very, very easy. And it's a little bit untraditional. I'm going to muddle, put this little guy here. I'm going to muddle some fresh jalapeno in my cocktail mixer. I'm just going to add a little squeeze of lime. That's the great thing about margaritas. They are really, really simple. The best things are, don't you think? Okay, now I have this gorgeous shrub. This is cucumber, ginger, and rose, and the cucumber is just really, really prominent, and I adore the aroma of cucumber. All right, so we're gonna do an ounce of the shrub, and then 2 ounces of our tequila. Ta-da. Okay, smells amazing. Put the lid. I'm gonna do a dry shake rather than shaking with ice so that I don't water it down. Add your ice. Strain in your cocktail. Beautiful. Smells amazing. And I'm gonna garnish with the fresh slice of jalapeno. So cheers. Here's to playing around with shrubs in the kitchen as well as in your cocktails. Thanks for joining me today. And if you want to get your hands on these Shrubwell mixers, all you have to do is head to We Are Tastemakers and visit our marketplace. All right, I'll see you next time.